Hi, I'm Deana with the Best of Us, the Floros. Duane is off working, and today I'm home. And I wanted to share with you what's in my bag. And that bag is my camera bag. I have two different cameras. The very first camera that I bought probably 8, maybe 9 years ago when our youngest son was playing football. And so, as you know, as a mom and parent, you're up in the stands and you want to take pictures, but they're not going to let me on the playing field. So even though my husband was down there moving the chains or whatnot, he still couldn't take pictures. So I wanted a camera, a pretty good camera, even though I didn't know anything about cameras. And I got a telephoto lens. And so I did that, and we were, our youngest grandchild wasn't too long after that was born, and I wanted to be able to take some good quality pictures of her. And our phones at the time had good cameras, nothing like they do now. So I invested in a Nikon D60. And as you can see from video I took of it, I have several different lenses. I got the nifty 50 as they call it, because you can do good portrait lenses with it. And it's got the kit lens, which I think it's on this one, and then the telephoto lens that I purchased separately for that, and got some really good pictures. It's a great camera, but it's really doesn't have that much value. Unfortunately, it's like anything else. Other cameras come on the market, and there's quite a bit of cameras, or Nikons anyway, that have come on the market since this one that are fabulous. But this one still works really, really well. And the only caveat with this camera, I don't know how to operate cameras. I didn't know anything about f-stops or anything like that, aperture. So it had no manual button, and that's how I took pictures. And it did take great pictures. So time moved on, more grandkids, and of course wanted to do some video, which we both have iPhones, and that makes incredible video with our iPhones. You know, we're starting to travel more and more in our RV, and we wanted to document, and that was part of the reason of our original reason of going on YouTube and document it. So we thought that would be a good avenue to record our travels so that we can see where we've been, but our kids, if they ever wanted to watch it, they could too. So I started researching what kind of camera that's reasonable. Obviously, I'm not going to pay thousands of dollars for a camera, because number two, remember, I put it on manual, not manual, I put it on automatic, and I have no idea how to operate it. So I wanted something that was good for my money, but not spend a fortune. And so I started researching probably about July about what would be a good camera for us to have, vlogging camera, because I knew that we could use our iPhones as well. But anyway, I didn't want to purchase the new iPhone. I'm waiting. I have a 7 Plus. We both do, Duane and I both do, and it makes great video. I just didn't want to invest in that. I wanted to invest in a camera. So started researching and came up with the Canon M50. Now, I've never owned a Canon before. Like I said, I had a Nikon. I didn't have any reason to not like it, to like it. I just read reviews, and like you probably go on YouTube a lot for how-to type stuff, and that's what I did. I just started watching creators, especially the ones that have very expensive cameras, because they are doing well on their channel and they know how to use those cameras. And so they recommended a Canon M50. And my favorite thing about this camera, not only does it do great video when you know how to use the settings, it really does great video, but it's small. And I knew our upcoming trip to Israel was coming soon, and I didn't want to, even my Nikon I felt would have been too big, and I could take pictures off my iPhone, but I love the smallness of this camera. And so men are liking the smallness too, and it was also lightweight. So here I'm tugging this camera all over Israel, and I had a little sling back, like a backpack to carry it in, which was the backpack was waterproof, which we needed, because if you've watched our videos, if you haven't, you need to watch those Israel videos. It rained a lot. But I want to give you some pluses. Now, I do not represent Canon by any means. They're not going to I have not, that's not why I'm doing it. I just want you to know what my video is. And so we've put out probably, we're under 20 videos we've put out so far. And you can see from the very first one, the first one was Keep Your Daydream when they came into town. We're supporters of them. And that was off of my iPhone, I guess. Maybe it was, I guess I had this, it was with this camera. And I didn't edit that. I let a program edit it, and it was a really short, so you can't really count them. But when you look at my other videos, you can see some issues that I was having with the camera where it'd be so light outside. If you want to pull up the Cincinnati video, you can see in the background the camera was glitchy. I mean, the footage was glitchy. It was very light. I was frustrated when I got home. I could fix some of it, but it wasn't the same. And I thought, what am I doing wrong? And fortunately, my son-in-law is a photographer, and he sat down with me. He doesn't do videos so much. So he started teaching me about my camera. And then I started researching on YouTube and watched some of the creators, and they do a lot of videos on what each component means. And so as you can see, even from my Cincinnati video, I guess we've done 4 since then, you can see a progression. It's not quite as glitchy. So I'm learning, and that's exciting because this camera is so easy to learn on. And my goal is to produce better and better videos. So if you're one of those people who desire to do what we're doing and want to chronicle yourself on YouTube and maybe grow a channel, but you're saying my video's terrible, I don't want to get out there, just do it. Because every video is going to get better. You're going to learn more and more. I have so far to go, especially when you look at the bigger channels, and you can, you know, they're professionals, and I'm just so far from that, and I don't know if I'll ever get to that point. That is not my goal. My goal is to make better quality videos. Anyway, but let me give you some positive things about the Canon M50 if you're interested. One thing that's good about it, it has an external mic, and it also has a place where you can put the shotgun mic on it. And what came with this camera was the Rode mic, and those are great mics, but it was the first one in their series, and it just made a clicking sound, so I went and bought another one, a Deity. I think it's a Deity, I'm not sure. And it's a really, what I like about it, it's a really small boomer, and so if we're out and about, people, it's not so like, oh, who is this person? And it has really good sound quality. Another one, this camera does 4K. So I don't shoot in 4K. It was suggested by a creator that I was learning from on YouTube. It's better to not. You want to do 24 frames per second. And so I haven't, but it does do 4K if you really know what you're doing. It's got a flip screen, which is nice. And I've got the flip screen open now. So I'm looking right at the flip screen. And you can see my eyes are averted over because I'm looking at, and so you have to practice to look straight into the screen or straight into your lens. But I love the flip screen because you can kind of, especially with sunglasses. I cheat all the time with sunglasses. I kind of watch, make sure we're in alignment with the lens. It has, as you can see, great image quality, and it comes out with some great lenses. And I want to show you some lenses. Now, this is the kit lens. I do not have the kit lens on my camera because there was another lens that came out that does even better. This, I started out with this, does great, but I really wanted a little bit more upgrade, and I bought a Sigma lens. Now, it's pricey. I will tell you, it cost almost as much as the camera did, but that's what I have. And you can see the blurriness in the background. It's called bokeh. And so it really, especially in Israel, I was so excited of the video. So I only took 2 lenses to Israel. Well, I only used 2 lenses to Israel, but it's got this, so you can see how small it is compared to the kit lens of my Nikon. This is the kit lens. See how small? So you can tell it's going to be a smaller camera. So another lens I bought, I had a 50 millimeter for my Nikon, and I really wanted one for this camera. And so I use this a lot on my Israel videos, especially when we went to Masada, because it's got a wide angle on it, and so you kind of have to stand back. You can't get close with the 50mm, but the video was astounding. Now, this one will fit any Canon camera, so you have to get an adapter for the for your M50, so it will fit, because it's got a smaller, the adapter has the smaller thing. If I didn't, it would not fit on the camera. So this was I bought a Canon adapter, which is more pricey, but there are adapters out there that are a lot less, and I'm reading that they're doing really well. So I have a 50mm, and I wanted to get a telephoto lens, and I did take this. So I took 3 lenses, I guess. I did take this to Israel because when I looked over the Mount of Olives over to the eastern wall, it was a long ways, and it really wasn't picking it up. So I really wanted to pick up, and I used this lens, and that's about the only time I used it. So predominantly, I did use 2 lenses. I used the Sigma, which is a 16, I believe it's a 1.4f stop, and it did great video. Another thing is the stabilization on the camera, and they do suggest you buy lenses with stabilization just because it's smaller than, and if some of the videos, if you look through them when we're walking, you feel like you're having an earthquake, especially early on. It was getting frustrated, so I tried to find a gimbal because it gives you really smooth as you're walking, but I haven't found one yet. I'm looking at one after I get the Sigma paid off. I'm looking at one that I can walk and you don't even know somebody's holding it to walk with. So the stabilization is great. And so, but what's nice about this camera, it's got an internal stabilization. They recommend that you don't turn it on if you have a lens that has it in the lens, which stabilize it, which I got lenses for my Nikon with stabilization. So when I took the picture, because I'm getting older, and I knew as you get older, you can get shaky a little bit, and I wanted clear pictures. So when I put the Sigma on, I went ahead and turned on the stabilization on the camera itself. Huge difference. It was so great. So I've just left it on, haven't had any trouble with it. It's got an electronic, as I talked about, the viewfinder, and it's really nice to be able to kind of eyeball where you're at. I guess it's got a Digic, now I don't know anything about this. Those are that know about cameras. It's got a Digic 8 processor, and it says it provides better quality video and pictures. So I didn't know that, but I'm glad I have it. The most important thing, though, with this camera is the price, and that, like I said, I did not want to spend. You can spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and those people have. They've updated their cameras as their channel has grown to a lot larger, and that makes sense because they're doing much more professional work than a novice like me. And so I spent a total because I got a kit. I got a package with my camera. I got the camera, and I got a 50mm. Of course, I got the kit lens that came with the camera. I think I got the telephoto too, and it ended up being about $900. However, now that was back in October, and of course, when you buy something, it just kind of falls. The price does. It did, and so someone on Facebook, I guess maybe in one of our YouTube. How to start a YouTube channel, they said they're at Costco right now for $5.99, and it's a kit. So I don't know if every Costco has them, but there you go. But I didn't want to, that was a lot of money for me to put down on a camera or to write a check for it right now because we took a trip. I bought it from BH Photo, and they have a program where if you pay it off in 6 months, it's it's a year, interest free. So I'm paying it off a lot sooner than a year, and it's interest free. So I got it at what they didn't charge any more than anybody else. So the price was huge for us. And so again, that's why we don't want to update our iPhones. We may when the next one comes out, or as long as our iPhones are working and they do fine. I'm using it for phone and some video. It's worth it for that. Plus it gives us another angle. So I hope this helps you to see what's in my bag. And of course, Duane's bag, it's his iPhone. He's the one that does a lot of the iPhone stuff. But that's what's in our bag. And it's something worth looking at if you want a great camera, because I love it. I don't regret it. I don't see myself upgrading anytime soon. We'll see what the future holds. I'm not sure. We would like to grow our channel, so if you haven't subscribed, please do and join our family. We're part-time videographers and camera buffs. We're part-time and we're loving it, and it's fun. The community that we've joined with it is so much fun. You get to know people and you learn so much, and your life will be so much more enriched. So you have a great day and the great rest of the week, and we'll see you next week.